What's up, everyone? How you doing today? We're going to be doing a mini podcast, sort of. We're going to be talking about the Super Bowl, breaking it down, our thoughts on the games, all that good stuff. First of all, I want to introduce your boy, Devin. Devin, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great.
Good
How
stuff,
are
good
you,
stuff.
Justin?
Man, I'm good, I'm good. It was a good Super Bowl, exciting game. Um, I It was closer than it really looked like it was going to be at the beginning of the game, but we ended up getting a good Super Bowl, which is good, better than the last couple of years, obviously. Um, yeah. So first of all, like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Let us know down in the comment section what you agree with, disagree with, what you think we can improve on, all that fun stuff. And also, we've kind of talked about this a little bit, but now it's really that time of year. It's the off season. Later this week, I am going to be dropping my first mock draft. I'm going to be just doing the first round, no trades. Just kind of seeing where I think athletes best fit, and stuff like that. And we're going to get deeper into that. We're also later down the line, we're going to be doing more collaborative mock drafts. But right now, I just want to throw my first one out there. I already have it built. I've already looked at it, did some deep detail in it. So I'm just going to do one quick, drop it for you guys, get some content there. So you guys, you guys can see what my thought process is on the draft. And obviously, we'll do more cooperative group stuff later down the line. Our off-season projects, we got those working right now. We got those in the works. We're going to be dropping a little off-season series, kind of talking about each
Agency.
team.
You're
Yeah,
on free agency, probably.
yeah, exactly. We're going to be talking about the best players in free agency, where we think they'll fit in that type of good stuff, of course. And then we're going to be doing a little off-season series, kind of breaking down each team, like cap space, what we like in the draft, what we like in free agency, all that good stuff. So obviously, we're going to break all that down. It'll be super fun. We're going to be dropping those sporadically. Some days we might drop 3 in a row, then we might not have for a couple days. Then we'll drop it, it's going to be sporadic. There's no schedule for it. We just want to get it out before free agency starts. So just be on the lookout for that. But more importantly, the Super Bowl. Devin.
And I actually think that this free agency, hold on real quick. I know we're trying to get on the Super Bowl here, but I think this free agency is one of the biggest free agencies.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
It's a game changer for a lot of teams.
Yeah, there's a lot of good talent. Not a lot of quarterbacks. Not a very big quarterback free agency, but it's a lot of good other positions of need, specifically wide receiver. Wide receiver is a very good free agency class.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yes.
All right. So starting with that, do you want to go ahead and give your thoughts on your thoughts on the Super Bowl?
Alrighty, let's get this started. So first of all, when we discussed last week, when we discussed last week what it's going to come down to, and when we said the trenches. Particularly, you said that.
Yep.
That was 100% right. 100% right. And this game came down to the last play, because if T. Higgins would have caught that ball, that would have been a first down, and who knows what would have happened there? They could have scored. And I mean, all they needed was a field goal to tie. So, and on top of that, when Aaron Donald made that play at the end. I mean, you have no one else to blame but that O-line. Honestly, I think it's more impressive that this Bengals team has came this far, being sacked as many times as they did. They beat the Titans, being sacked 9 times. I think they got sacked not very many times by the Chiefs, actually.
One, I believe.
Yeah, so their line actually held up pretty good. But this was a whole different animal coming against the Rams. And they allowed 7 sacks. 7 freaking sacks. It's just like you can't.
Nope.
You can't let that happen.
Yeah, you definitely can't.
And it's just wild because everything was going their way. Honestly, if you look up until the very end, everything was going their way. They had a missed face mask call, which was huge. They had 2 interceptions. I mean, I believe it was the face mask call and then the interception back to back. So yeah. I mean, everything was like the momentum was all in the favor, and I thought that was going to be the pivotal point in this game, and that they were going to continue scoring and win by a fair margin. But they just couldn't. And I think a big reason why was because of that pressure. Yeah, I mean, he was sacked 7 times, but there was many times where this man was running for his life. Like he looked like Mahomes against the Bucs last year.
Yeah, actually, I wish they had we could see here how many pressures each offensive lineman gave up, because that would be interesting to see, to go into detail to see exactly. But I mean, if you look at just this chart, let's forget the score right here. Let's just look at you would look at this number, you would look at this.
Let's compare the quarterbacks first. Let's start with the quarterbacks. when you look at the quarterback numbers, so yeah, when you look at the quarterback numbers, I think looking at it, looks like Joe Burrow had a better game.
There's
To me, at least.
There's two big numbers for me. You look at this one compared to this one, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay. And then I also look at this one.
Okay, that's the
QBR was a very big difference. I think they are pretty even, for their first Super Bowls. I think that's a fair, I thought they played
I look at the
fair.
interceptions though.
Yeah. Without watching the game, that's big, yeah. But then this too.
Yeah. True, very true. But he did have more pass attempts as well. By at least 7.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow had a 66% completion percentage, which is, it was better than Matthew Stafford. And I think Joe Burrow, I think, played better based on his circumstances. With a shitty O-line like that, he played
I would argue
well.
the other way.
Really?
Yeah, because think about it. You lose Odell. You already don't have your number 2 tight end, your number 1 tight end. You can't run the football. They literally couldn't run the football. I would argue the other way. I think Stafford, if we're including circumstances, I think Stafford played the better game. They can't run the football. They lose Odell in the first half. I believe it was after the first quarter. Early second quarter, I believe. They don't have their number 2 tight end. Number 1 tight end. And then their number 2 tight end also gets hurt in the game.
I just feel like it's more, I think it's more important, though, that the quarterback gets time to throw, though. One person that I think of when it comes to, something like this, when you compare quarterbacks like this, is, Tom Brady. He had Julian Edelman and Rob Gronkowski, and that was it. I believe even a year only had Julian Edelman. He was dealing with some sorry-ass receivers. And his O-line provided him at least enough time to throw. And you didn't really see him run out as much. Joe Burrow, I would love to know how much yards he ran just, from pressure and stuff like that. And so him having to constantly, get out the pocket and run. I see your argument, though.
Let's look at the yards. If you I'm sorry, the 75 yards has to go.
Wait, hold on. What is going on with your screen?
What is
it
No, I think it's just glitching on Discord.
Oh, it's quality. I thought you're drawing some black marks for a second. Yeah,
no, I'm just this one, for example. I don't think there's 75 yards. It is 75 yards, but if you take that penalty, he's throwing less than 100 yards.
Yeah, that's true.
Less than 200 yards. Let me clarify. Less than 200 yards. I don't know. I think Burrow played the better game. But I think if you consider circumstances, Stafford went through a lot. The one interception not being his. I'm sorry, it wasn't his. A guy literally tipped up the other dude. His first interception, I actually was 100% okay with. Because if you remember, it was the one where it was the deep ball, one-on-one coverage, and it was 3rd and long. So they were either going to punt the ball or it was a touchdown. So if they catch this interception, they literally didn't lose anything. It was basically a punt on 3rd down.
I don't know if you could say it was the receiver's fault in the second interception, though.
Oh, it definitely was.
You sure?
It was right to him. It was right to him.
I could have sworn it was thrown out a little too far out for him. He only was able to get one hand on it.
No, he had two hands on it, tipped it straight up in the air.
Oh dang! I must be thinking about a different movement.
I will stand on my grave saying that's a receiver fault. There is no way that's on Stafford. In my personal opinion.
Yeah. I want to go back to the circumstances thing real quick. I guess based on their respective circumstances, I guess you could say that they equally
they went through their stuff. They went through the ups and downs of the game for sure.
Right, but no, these are 2 great quarterbacks. These are 2 top 5 quarterbacks. In the league this year. I think so. 2 other quarterbacks I think immediately that are higher than them, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. You've got to put those 2 up there, and then I think you can Matthew Stafford, and then Joe Burrow. And then,
really?
You can. Maybe you could put Joe Burrow 5th, but I just don't know who I would put at 4th. Maybe Mahomes, but Mahomes didn't start off good.
I take Mahomes and Herbert. I take Mahomes and Herbert over both of them.
I don't know. Like
personally. But
even statistically speaking, too, Matthew Stafford had a pretty solid year, and Joe Burrow did too.
I mean, yeah, I mean Joe Burrow did lead the league in interceptions.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Damn.
They're both. They're all
I
there.
don't know.
They're up to the top 10 for sure.
Right.
They're top 10 for sure. But my initial thoughts of the game was it was an up and down game. Exactly what you want with the Super Bowl. You didn't want a blowout. You didn't want one team just dominating. We got a good up and down game from both sides. You know, you saw the Rams start out good. Then you had the Odell injury, and then after the Odell injury, it was a little slow. Then you go to halftime. Then they come out. The Bengals throw a one-play touchdown on a play that really shouldn't happen because of the face mask. I don't care what anyone says. It's a penalty. Get over it. And then you have the interception on the receiver, not on Stafford. And then it's really, but they come back. They make use of what they have. They couldn't run the football. They had to use some other players. Darrell Henderson was huge for them in the passing game, coming off of IR to come and play in the Super Bowl and play that well in the passing game as a running back. I was impressed. Hopkins as a tight end number 3. Pretty good game himself. I thought he was usable, you know. But I mean, running backs, they couldn't run. You lose Odell, who was on fire. They had a rocky road in there. I mean, the Bengals had a rocky road themselves. With, you know, they didn't start out great. It looked like there was gonna be a blowout. You know, they got some momentum back around the touchdown. You know, all that, the interception. Ultimately, the thing that hurt them the most, which hurt them in the regulars, or in the first, I mean, what looked like it could hurt them in the first 3 games of the playoffs, but it didn't, because the teams couldn't finish them off, was kicking field goals. They kicked 2 field goals. They scored 2 touchdowns. You know, they would have. I think you would like, especially off the interception. You don't want a field goal. You really need a touchdown in that situation. Personally. You know, we talk about how great their kicker was, and yeah, he was great, but at the end of the day, like, you have to score touchdowns in the postseason to beat great teams, and it eventually came to hurt them. Their defense played good, though. I mean, other than a couple players, Eli Apple, they played good overall. You know, they stopped the run well. The linebackers, actually, I gotta say, we did our matchups video. Our Super Bowl podcast, so we talked about the matchups. We said that we did not like their middle linebackers. Their middle linebackers came to play. Their linebackers put them on the map. They stopped the run phenomenally. Like, Logan Wilson was all over the field. He really was. He was all over the field. It showed. Look at them. Pratt and Wilson, both inside linebackers. They both led the team in tackles. 3 tackles for loss by Logan Wilson, and 1 pass defense. He was very, very good. Logan Wilson was the best player on their defense, I think. And it really did shock me. Too. Yeah, they were really, really good.
I was impressed, actually. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, when I look at these 2 teams, and I think of, like, one thing that impressed me with both of them. My first thing for the Rams would be their ability to, like, after those 2 shitty back-to-back plays they had, for them to still, like, you know, pick themselves up from that is actually really good.
Yeah, the tenacity of their team was
exactly to, like,
come back. Yeah,
right. Get
shitty start, lose a great player, give up a first play touchdown, then throw an interception. Mm-hmm. That's big. Yeah, it was big.
Right, and I was impressed with Cincinnati's defense.
Yeah,
I was not, like, their D line. I mean, their defense as a whole, I was impressed on how well they played. Like, they came to fucking play. Like,
I wouldn't. I don't know. I was impressed with their front line. I thought their front line and their linebackers would get a little bit exposed because they were going to be spread thin. Like, the secondary couldn't help them. But that was the opposite. The secondary, I felt like, wasn't great in the first quarter and a half. I felt like the weapons of the Rams are going to take over. Obviously, the Odell injury makes a big difference, you know, and that's why I think. And that's why I'm not, like, saying they played great, because, you know, at the end of the day, they needed some help. They didn't look great at the start.
They played better than I thought.
True, that's true, and that's what I'm saying. The front line, the front 7, the defensive line and the linebackers played way better than I thought. They stopped the run by themselves. They made some plays. You know, they got to Stafford twice, which is solid. I mean, it's not like it's game-changing like the Rams did, but, you know, they got the pressure. I believe Stafford actually ran. Yeah, I mean, he ran the ball. Yeah. It's like I said, they were impressive to me. I think we nailed it on the head. It's the tenacity of the Rams. Like, you throw 2 picks, you lose your number 2 wide receiver, who's playing the best right now. Look, he was on the fast track for the MVP of the game. It looked like for a minute there. You can't run the football. Your defense is, playing okay, but they're getting more and more tired because your offense. And then you finally get going. You get that rhythm. And I commend Matthew Stafford. People, you look that no-look pass that he threw.
He faked Bell out so hard.
That might have been one of the best throws I've ever seen in my life.
That was incredible. Like, Bell completely fell for that. Bell was following the eyes of the quarterback. I can't either.
I mean, I think every safety in the league would have done that. Do.
It was impressive that Matthew Stafford threw a fucking dime.
A dime, not looking.
Right, that's risky as hell too.
And that's why I commend Stafford as well, is because he corrected the ship. The ship was turning, it was sinking, and then he rebuilt the wood that was letting the water in to let them continue. Yeah. And then that last drive with him and Cooper Kupp, those two look great. But, and I don't know if this is a hot take, Aaron Donald should have won MVP. Aaron Donald single-handedly took over that game in the second half, it felt like. He was getting so much pressure. He was destroying the run game. That last drive, when he stopped the guy on 3rd and 1, when the running back could have just reached out and got a first down, and then gets that sack on 4th and 1, crazy. I think he should have won defense. I mean, look, he had 4 tackles. By the way, the thing is you're right. He didn't lead his team in tackles. He did lead the team in sacks. He tied with Von Miller in sacks. Yes. But let's not forget, this man's triple-teamed. He's literally getting triple-teamed.
You know what? And I think that's maybe a reason why he didn't get MVP.
Yeah, it's because he gets triple.
Well, that and the fact that, it's a norm for him. It's like, Aaron Donald, he's getting triple-teamed.
That's the game we expected, yeah. You know what's crazy?
Right, exactly.
I was talking to my dad before the game, and I told him, I was like, if I was a betting man, if I betted on games and stuff, I would bet defensive player wins MVP. Because I felt like it was inevitable. It could have been Von Miller. Von Miller could have went crazy on the edge. He could have had 4 sacks. Realistically. You know what I mean? Because Aaron Donald's getting so much look on the inside. It could have been Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey could have had one of those games where he picks him off twice and turns one to the house. Because, you know what I'm saying? It could have. I looked at my dad. I was like, look, I think it's going to be a defensive player MVP. And I would put my money on Aaron Donald. And that's why at the end of the game, I was like, well, I would have won money. And then he didn't. Cooper Kupp won it, which was the best player on offense. But, geez, Aaron Donald, I don't know.
No, I agree with you. It's just when you look at Cooper Kupp's game and Aaron Donald's game, Cooper Kupp was he had a more impressive second half.
That last drive was the impressive part for me.
Exactly, when they kept throwing it to him and stuff like that.
I mean, look at
that's
the
when
stat
most
line.
of it's. Exactly. No, I agree with you. I feel like the MVP is when you look at the MVP for a specific game, you look at who really changed the game here. Cooper Kupp did not change the game as much as Aaron Donald did.
Yeah.
Because when you have someone like Aaron Donald who's able to, I'm sorry, there's no way in fucking hell you're putting one offensive line on Aaron Donald. So that's already 2 men on one guy.
And when they did, he ended the game.
Even 3.
That's what he did. That last game, that last play.
Yes.
They did it once.
Yes.
And he literally ended the game. Literally.
He got both tackles, right? Because he pulled Perine.
He got 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1.
Yeah, no, I think Aaron Donald should have won that. It doesn't get better than that. One player, back to back, 1 yard hold, holding them down on the 1 yard. That's pretty impressive. I can agree with you that I think he should have won, but I think it's it almost makes me think that they gave Cooper Kupp the MVP just for this narrative, in the sense how he's the Triple Crown winner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I see it as last drive biasy. Because that last drive by him was spectacular. He literally, it felt like he got every ball.
Yeah.
And I think that the MVP vote might have ended. I think a lot of people submitted their vote for MVP after that drive. And not, because it's fan vote. Fan votes. You send your vote in. I feel like a lot of people probably voted MVP after the Rams scored a touchdown.
We're not realizing how.
And then Aaron Donald makes big time plays, a sack to end the game and a 3rd and 1 stop, and it's it's a little too late, Which then I guess I could see how. That's the only problem with fan voting is there's not like they should make you vote 10 minutes after the game, 10 minutes voting after the game.
No, I think so too.
But I mean, it's whatever. It's MVP voting. But still, those three guys for me were big time players. Cup, Stafford, Donald. They were big time. And they, and I've always said this. I've said this multiple times on this podcast. Big time players make big time plays in big time games.
Now, I do want to say one thing though, and I don't know why they put Perine in instead of Joe Mixon. Like, was Joe Mixon hurt on the last drive, or what was up with that? I don't understand.
I think I know why. I think I know why.
Why is
Because
that?
Samaje Perine is usually known as their receiving back. He's actually had a lot of Don't get me wrong, Joe Mixon is as well, but Perine's no. I don't know if he was injured. I don't know if Joe Mixon was injured, but I think it's because they were in no huddle and they were trying to throw the football a lot. Maybe Perine was used as an extra blocker and they couldn't get Joe Mixon on the field. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like they had 2 timeouts, and I personally think
That's true.
And
Did they?
That's why I don't. Yeah, they had 2 timeouts still. They had a timeout still. I know that for a fact, and that's why I was so confused because I was like, you're. Joe Mixon had a good game.
If they had a timeout, they should have ran a quarterback sneak or a draw, a running back dive.
Exactly, and I think they
Your
should
guys
use Joe
couldn't block
Mixon.
him.
Joe Mixon was averaging 4.8 yards a carry.
Yeah.
That's a game changer right there. I'm sorry. I'm taking Joe Mixon, the way he played this game, to at least give me 1 yard in 2 plays. Me personally.
It might have been they were scared because Aaron Donald stopped them the play before. They might have felt they had a better chance with Joe Burrow. I don't know. I don't know the true answer, but that might have been the case.
Would you take Perine over Joe Mixon?
Oh, no.
That's what I'm talking about. In the last 2 plays where they ran the ball with Perine, I think they should have gone with Joe Mixon, put him in the game. He's your best running back. Like you were just saying, you put your best players, you put your big time players in big time situations.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon he's been a great running back all year. Put him in a situation where he can allow y'all to win. Because I think you put him in the game, it's game changing now because I think he can get a yard, and I think that extends the drive even further. And they either score a field goal, they score a touchdown, and the game goes on from whichever scenario it is. But that also confused me. I was like, what the fuck are they doing? Kareem had 2 carries. Why are you putting some dude that hasn't played the entire game in the last in the most important drive of the game, and he comes up with 0 yards? That's I don't understand the logic behind that. I'm kind of curious on the reason why. Joe Mixon had to be hurt or something, because there's no way that's almost as bad as not running the ball on the 1 yard line when you have Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's good. That's a good question.
Like I said, I think Cincinnati should have won this game.
Everything went right for Cincinnati. It felt like Odell getting hurt, number 2 tight end gets hurt. Face mask touchdown doesn't get called. 2 turnover. There's a lot of things that went right for the Bengals, but I ultimately think the better team won.
No, I think the Rams are the better team, but the Bengals, the Rams were giving them opportunities to win the game, and they just didn't take it.
And I don't know. Did I? Yeah, never mind. I already said it. Never mind. I was gonna say the 2 field goals, taking 2 field goals, 2 touchdowns. You gotta have more touchdowns than field goals. How many touchdowns?
I agree.
So the Rams had 3 touchdowns, 1 field goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. And by the way, let's not forget the missed extra point. They also give you an extra point. It would have been a 4-point game. You would have needed a touchdown if they didn't have that bobbled extra point in the second quarter.
Oh, that's right.
Think about that.
Yeah,
you had a lot of different opportunities.
Yeah, honestly, I'm really surprised the Bengals didn't win. I'm sorry, you put any other team in that situation, they're taking advantage of that.
Yeah, the offensive line definitely hurt.
Yeah,
I mean, if you put Joe Burrow on a lot of different offensive lines, he's the most sacked quarterback in football. He had the most turnovers in football.
Wasn't it like 70, 60 sacks or something like that? It
I
was
don't
some
know how much it
wild
was.
number.
I don't know. But
And that's why, like, I feel like, I'm sorry, if you're the Bengals, you've got to. I mean, you draft a shit ton of O linemen, or you trade for someone. You've got to trade or get. You got to fix that whole line.
they do have a lot of
O-line
salary
is
cap.
dog
They
shit.
can, they're gonna they're I guarantee they're gonna sign some free agent veterans to come play offensive line. I'm sure.
No, that's good. They should. I mean, and they got a lot of young guys too. Like Jamar Chase, his rookie year, he's playing this well.
I mean, look,
This dude, he's
Burrow
gonna be a
rookie
stud.
contract. I think Mixon, no, new deal. Jamar Chase rookie contract. Higgins rookie contract. Uzama's a free agent. I don't know about their defense. I know
You know,
Jesse Bates
Ooh.
needs a contract. He's a big time safety. I know that Hendrickson just got his.
he came from the Saints, right?
Yeah,
Hendrickson
Hendrickson did. Yeah.
What I'm looking at is if they didn't go with Uzama, which I mean I would understand. I would understand if they don't. They could get someone like OJ Howard.
I heard Gronk.
You know, it's funny you say that because
Gronk.
Gronk also said that he wants
That's
to
what
play
I'm
with
saying.
Joe Burrow.
Gronk said the only other quarterback he played for is Joe Burrow.
Do you think that'll happen though?
I mean, the stars are lining up, aren't they?
It's either that or OJ Howard. I feel like would be a good fit for them.
I feel like you'd rather keep Uzama. Why would you want OJ Howard over Uzama?
Just because Uzama. I mean, it depends on how he recovers from his injury.
Well, he played.
Yeah, not as much as like you'd hope for though. Like
I mean, no, I think he played the full game. He's only
but
had
he
two
only had, like,
catches.
yeah, well, I was expecting a
OJ
lot more
Howard was
catches
the
from
third
him.
string tight end.
Oh yeah, true.
I don't know. I would
I
rather
don't
keep
know.
Uzama. Obviously, price and stuff, but
Gronk would make that team a pretty big threat. I mean, not only would he be able to
all about offensive
help
line.
with- Oh yeah, no. Offensive
How
line
you can
comes
keep the
first,
defense like you obviously keep the team together, majority of the team together. Offensive line.
Except for Eli Apple.
Well, yeah. Obviously, I would get some corner help, some offensive line help. Not some, all offensive line help, and re-sign some key pieces. Jesse Bates is a key re-sign. That's a big time re-sign. They have to keep him. I mean, if you can get Gronk, then I guess get Gronk. But other than that, I'd pretty much keep Uzama. You got
I feel like
Mixon.
though,
You got
if he
Brown.
goes to Cincinnati, I feel like Gronk's gonna ask for a little bit more money because this is gonna be, I think, the first year that he's not gonna be playing with Tom Brady. So I could see.
They have a lot of money. I'm
Gronk-
not worried about that.
Yeah,
I mean, they also have leverage. If he says he only wants to play for Burrow, Gronk doesn't need the money,
Yeah.
dude. He's not only has he made good money in football, he's also makes crazy money on those USA commercials. So
oh, those are the best.
yeah,
But yeah, this now here's a question for you, Dustin. What are the chances that either of these teams make it back to the Super Bowl?
I think the Rams have a
And
good
which-
chance.
If you had to give me a scale of 1 to 10.
I don't know about the Bengals. I think there's a lot of things that need to be done, and the AFC is so competitive. Like, the AFC is so hard. It's very hard to repeat, I feel like. But I would have the Rams as the favorites in the NFC going next year.
And I agree with that.
I think
Because-
because I think they're gonna re-sign. I think they're gonna re-sign Von Miller. I think they're gonna get Odell probably. They're probably gonna keep Odell because Odell's talked about it's home and all this stuff, right? Obviously, it depends on Odell's health with the ACL. We'll see how long it takes him to get back. But then you have also the likes of Robert Woods coming back next year. You're gonna have these running backs again. I mean, you'll probably lose one of them, but still, Cam Akers for sure. You have a good chance with Stafford. You're going to have pretty much the receivers. You're probably going to need another left tackle because Whitworth is probably retiring. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about who's exactly here. I've heard some rumors. Everyone's heard the rumor about Aaron Donald possibly retiring.
That would be a huge loss.
If they did, that would be a very big loss, and there'd be some questions. But I think if they can keep the majority of this team together, I think they have a really good chance. But because they have a great coach. Sean McVay's a great coach. He's a great coach, and with a good team and a great coach, you always have a good chance. So, and like I said, I'm not a big fan of NFC. And if Rodgers is gone, if Wilson's gone, if Kyler Murray is gone, are we going to talk about? I mean, that's a big thing too. Like, obviously, we don't want to make anything big of it because we don't. There's nothing really there. There's just been some rumors that Kyler Murray's not happy, this and that. If something does happen, we'll talk about it. But maybe Kyler Murray's not happy. Maybe he's gone. Maybe Russell Wilson's gone. Aaron Rodgers might be gone. Brady's already gone.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to like. I don't see a single team in the
49ers are gonna have a rookie. I mean, not a rookie now. I mean, he's gonna be a second-year guy, but it's gonna be first year starting. He didn't even play Division I football, so he's gonna go from Division II football, or I shouldn't say Division II.
Honestly,
FCS.
like Rams are like literally set next year.
They're in a great spot.
Think about it, like, because when you go through each team, and like each of the divisions, like you said, Packers. I mean, best team in the division easily. Rodgers is gone.
With Rodgers,
you look at the Bucs division. I feel like the only way that we'll be able to compete with the Rams is if we get a quarterback like Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson.
And even then, you have free agent holes. Yeah.
Exactly, and like we need to keep a lot of those pieces if we're going to be able to, compete. Who else? The Saints, new head coach,
and you don't have a quarterback.
Exactly. We don't even know what's going to happen with that situation. Carolina, quarterback issues.
Atlanta's
Falcons. I've heard about Calvin Ridley possibly being traded, and that's that was the best receiver besides Julio at the time. So, I mean, it almost sounds like it almost sounds like a rebuild down there. Who else? Vikings.
Maybe, but they're gonna need some pieces on defense.
Yeah, they're gonna need some work. Who else? I might have to pull up the NFC.
49ers. Obviously, we already talked about Trey Lance. Seahawks. Who knows with the Seahawks? Cardinals. Who knows with the Cardinals? Bears. He's still young. Lions doesn't have it yet. We talked about the Bucks. We talked about
Panthers.
Cowboys. Cowboys. Giants. Eagles. Washington.
Actually, you know what? Maybe watch out for the Eagles.
I don't know what Jalen Hurts.
If Jalen Hurts can improve his throwing ability, I could see them progressively becoming a better team.
But are they that threat to the Rams next year? I'm saying.
Maybe a slight threat, but nothing too serious.
Nothing serious. I just think it's very likely for the Rams. I don't really like it. I think it's really hard for the Bengals. I mean, Herbert.
I do want to point out one team, though. Washington football team. If they can get a good quarterback, not a serious threat, but they could be a come-up team if they can get a good quarterback. If they can get a good quarterback, Chase Young is going to be back this year. I mean, they have some good. They've got some good offensive pieces.
Yeah, but they struggled at the beginning of the year defensively, and that was with Chase Young. And then you also had look at the receiving core, right? They have Terry McLaurin, great, right? But then you have the likes of Curtis Samuel, who couldn't stay healthy to save his life last year.
Fair.
They just don't have enough weapons, I feel like. I mean, they have Logan Thomas at tight end's cool, but he got hurt quite a bit last year. You're right. They need the right quarterback, and even then, there's still some pieces left on that team. I don't see a serious threat to the Rams next year.
You know what? I think the most, and this is embarrassing to say, but I think the biggest threat is the Cowboys to the Rams.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's clear cut right now. Like I said, there's some things that could happen. Rodgers stays, okay. Russell Wilson stays. They continue to build about Russell. Okay, they could be a threat. Not a serious threat, but they looked really good at the end of last year. They look like they were getting to where they need to be. I
have one team. Now I know I talk about this team a lot, but this is just a what if situation. If we look at this could be a coin flip on who would win this matchup. But if Rodgers I know you're about to laugh, but if Rodgers somehow goes to Tampa Bay,
he's not going to Tampa Bay.
I'm just saying somehow, because the fucking free agency's crazy. I just want to put a theoretical situation. If he went to Tampa Bay, I think that makes them the most serious threat to the Rams.
Okay, but do you take Tampa or LA in that situation?
It depends on the pieces that we keep, which is why it's hard to even make a prediction now, because we could be losing a lot more pieces. We could lose Godwin, and if we lose Godwin, I mean, I'm taking the Rams. But I don't know. That's a super far-fetched idea, an incredibly far-fetched idea. Because I've also heard talks that Aaron Rodgers hasn't really. I mean, I haven't even really heard anything about Aaron Rodgers going to Tampa at all.
I don't think he's made his decision, so we're not gonna have those talks till he does make a decision.
But
which kind of sounds like he might be staying. Which, if he stays, they're a big threat.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I'm still taking the Rams over the Packers.
Yeah, I probably will too.
Yeah, I think the biggest.
Well,
threat
in the
right
postseason, in the regular season, I take the Packers over everybody, but when it becomes the postseason,
Rams.
When it comes to postseason, the Packers will never win.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Nor will the Cowboys, and that's why I'm not worried about them.
All right.
So,
is there anything?
I think the NFC is a clear cut.
Yeah.
For the Rams, the AFC is spicy though. I feel bad for every single AFC team because there are so many teams in the AFC that are incredibly good. The Titans, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Bengals, the Raiders, the Patriots, the Colts. The Dolphins are getting better. The Chargers are getting better.
Broncos
Ravens,
with a quarterback.
The Broncos. I mean,
Chiefs,
I think the Texans are going to be better.
Yeah, but Texas won't be a threat, bro. The Texans will not be a threat at all.
I think
they'll
they
still be a bottom 5
7
team.
wins.
7 wins? Are you crazy?
I mean,
7.
Yeah, no. I think 7 wins.
That is, yeah,
max.
okay.
7 wins max.
Anyone want to know what coke he is on? 7 wins. That is crazy.
Hey, it's the coke I took thinking the Bucks would beat the Rams.
That is crazy. 7. I would take Jacksonville over over Houston.
That's fair. Actually, let me check their schedule.
They haven't released the schedule?
They haven't? Oh my god. Okay. Well, but yeah, no. AFC is much more stacked.
Yeah.
NFC is.
There's a lot of young talent in the AFC, so I think the chances for this they could, but I just don't see it because I think there's a lot of teams that have a possibility. So, all right, is that everything? Is that all about Super Bowl? All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a great year. It's been the end of the year. That's the sad part, dude. It's the end of the year. But we're getting to the interesting stuff now. The rumors, all the crazy stuff.
All the fun stuff.
Yeah. All that stuff. So make sure you check out our other old podcasts. See if go check out our predictions and stuff. See if we were right. All that cool stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, do all of that. Check out our TikTok, all other stuff,
Instagram.
And all that's in our description down below. And get ready for those off-season projects coming out. We're gonna be working heavy on those. So make sure you turn on post notifications so you know when we upload.
It's exciting too.
Yeah, it's gonna be good stuff.
It's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, it's gonna be good stuff. We're gonna try to make this off-season. It's gonna be a little different. It's our first off-season. We're gonna have different projects. You might not see a podcast this week. You might just see videos, whatever it is. We're gonna figure it out, obviously. So experience it with us. So just get ready for that. And that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.